This most recent tech collaboration shocked the entire tech world. And the reason being is Apple Intelligence is going to be powered by Google Gemini models. I mean, you heard it right. So Apple Intelligence, under the hood, it is Google Gemini models. And you might think that Apple and Google are rivals. They've got Android versus iOS. They've got like the smartphones, iPhone versus Pixel phones. But if you do not know the fact, Apple and Google have been partnering for years. It was even a big part of their antitrust case where Apple has chosen Google as the default search provider. And this goes further deep because Apple had initially started the AI journey much longer when they acquired this company and then made Siri. And Siri over the years have not improved while the technology has improved, and Siri has become dumber and dumber because humans have got used to much improved technology in terms of text to speech, voice understanding, voice recognition, and also the knowledge under the hood. Having said that, in 2025 and 2026, Apple is one company that has constantly fallen behind in terms of the LLM era or the AI era. And if you see, for example, Amazon has got Amazon Bedrock where they have plugged in all the models. Amazon got a huge investment in Anthropic. So Amazon has got some foot in the business. And you can see other companies like Google has got Gemini models. You have got Meta. Meta has got Llama models. In fact, Meta recently announced Meta Compute. And the same goes with Amazon as well. Amazon has got AWS, which people are using for training models and large data centers. So if you see all these companies, NVIDIA, OpenAI, all these companies, Oracle, even like take Oracle for example, like even Oracle has got a huge foot in the business. And Apple is this one company that is sitting on a lot of cash, huge cash pile, but has not made a huge progress in AI. In fact, Apple decided to market most recent iPhone, the latest iPhone and the MacBook with Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence was at the forefront of all this marketing, but finally, they didn't even launch Apple Intelligence, and now they've announced that they cannot do Apple Intelligence with Apple and they need Google models for it. The announcement itself is weird. If you see here, Apple and Google have entered into a multi-year collaboration under which the next generation of Apple Foundation models will be based on Google's Gemini models and cloud technology. This is further super shocking because Apple has got an amazing framework which is called MLX. MLX, like I'm a big fan of MLX. If you've got Apple Silicon machine, then instead of using a transformer based model, instead of using a PyTorch based model, you can use MLX based model. So you can use MLX as a framework to power your LLMs and text to speech models, a lot of other models. And MLX is a growing ecosystem. This kind of says that Apple has completely given up participating in the race. I know LLMs are capital intensive business, like you need a lot of money to build foundation models. And I can understand that you and I can't build foundation models. But for a company like Apple, for them to give up a huge foundation and then just decide to rely on Google Gemini is kind of shocking and surprising. Apple did it with Google Maps. For many years, Apple used Google Maps. Finally, they used Apple Maps. It was kind of shit at the point. And then kind of they improved. And Apple is still using Google as search engine. And there were rumors that Apple would build a competitive search engine, but it never happened. And now they are saying that Apple foundation models would be using Gemini models. The most shocking aspect of this particular announcement is that after careful evaluation, Apple determined that Google's AI technology provides the most capable foundation for the Apple foundation model. That means Apple has consciously decided not to use OpenAI, which was their initial launch partner. So if you go back to the announcement and see ChatGPT, Apple had a dedicated key which you can even assign to ChatGPT. So Apple had like a very strong collaboration with ChatGPT, and for some reason it had fallen out. And it almost feels like ChatGPT is lagging behind in the market currently. If you take Gemini 3 Pro, Gemini 3 Flash, Nano Banana Pro, Veo 3.1, the Google's ecosystem of AI models is very strong. And I'm quite surprised that OpenAI is letting fall out. And finally, the most interesting aspect here is that Apple Intelligence will continue to run on Apple devices. How is that Google Gemini is going to power Apple Intelligence that will run on device? Maybe Gemma model, because Google Gemini has got Gemma models. I don't know what they're going to do. And private cloud compute while maintaining Apple's industry-leading privacy standards. This is a huge news. I don't know what kind of repercussion it will have for OpenAI, which might have been relying on Apple to have a multi-year deal, and it's a lot of money. And now that they're not going to get that money, OpenAI is already in a kind of a soup But Sam Altman knows to make partnerships, nurture partnerships. It's already gotten huge support from US President Donald Trump. There is Larry Ellison, who's also very closer to US President Donald Trump, Oracle CEO. It's kind of, they're in a good state, but I don't know what is going to happen for OpenAI. But for Apple, at least, I don't think it's a great news. But for Apple consumers, obviously, they're going to enjoy the good models from Google under the hood, and Apple Intelligence is going to be Google Intelligence. Let me know what you think about this. See you in another video. Happy prompting.